Hello Pisces and welcome to Providence. My name is KK and this is a general weekly reading for the week commencing the 12th of April 2020. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all very well and all very safe wherever you may be in the world. Once again, this is for the Pisces collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs of Pisces, as well as cross watchers. Everyone is most welcome here. And as always, please be reminded that this is a general weekly reading and only to take what resonates with you and leave the rest for somebody else out there in the collective. That card spun in my hand, so I'm going to take it. And it is the Page of Swords, Pisces. So the pages for me are the messengers of the tarot, and the message the Page of Swords brings is one about new ideas. You have a curiosity and a thirst to learn new things this week, a thirst for knowledge, a thirst for research, and in particular new ways of communicating. Perhaps in the current circumstances that most people around the world find themselves in, we are having to find new ways of communicating through being very isolated. So perhaps that's learning new technology. It might be as mundane as that, or it could be new ways of expressing yourself, self-expression, communicating your feelings and your thoughts. So that is something that is absolutely on the cards for this week. New ways. You're really interested in learning about that. Let's get the rest of the cards on the deck for you, Pisces, and we'll find out what these new ways of communicating are all about for you. Card at the bottom of the deck this week for you, Pisces, is the Devil. This is the Capricorn card, but this is the overarching energy for the week for you. Now, the Devil speaks about our shadow selves, which we all have, and perhaps this is a time to do a little bit of shadow work. The Devil speaks about unhealthy attachments, restrictions that we may put on our lives. I'll bring this up. As you can see, this is divine feminine, divine masculine, and they're shackled here to the Devil, speaking about these limitations and these restrictions that we put on ourselves. Yes, the Devil card can speak about some addictions that we may have, but I'm just picking up on these unhealthy attachments, and it's a good time to do some shadow work for ourselves. Get in touch with that shadow side, maybe communicate that, express that, as the Page of Swords has suggested, and work through those issues this week. But the Devil is sitting there on our shoulders this week for you, Pisces. Just have a look at those unhealthy attachments that we may have. And I think we're all having to have a look at those sorts of things that we become very entitled and reliant upon, for a lot of us around the world, we've had to go into self-isolation, including myself. So it is, a chance to look at those entitlements, I think, is a really good way to put it, that we really don't need in our lives. And perhaps that's what the Devil is talking about here. What is crossing you? Well, the Emperor is crossing you this week, Pisces. This is the Aries card. If that resonates with anybody out there, we are we are in Aries season. So, perhaps that is a reason there as well. Now, the Emperor speaks about, well, the Emperor for a start is the great authority, is the King of Kings. There's no one higher up the food chain than the Emperor. This is the great authority, and the Emperor is about establishments, about structures. And again, with this crossing the Page of Swords here, this could be a call for you becoming the great authority and providing some structure in your own life at the moment. And around, this idea of communication, of self-expression. With establishments, that the Emperor looks after, I always see those as government establishments, financial, establishments, and I'm saying that for the reason of what we're all going through at the moment, with a health crisis and economic crises around the world. So I think this is a call for you to absolutely embrace a structure. Be the authority of your own life at the moment, Pisces. Create this structure that is going to work very well for you. And it's to do with this self-expression, communication. I hope that makes sense to you. If I can articulate it in a better way, I'll come back to that. But you just becoming this authority of, you know, establishing your own structure that is going to allow you to express yourself. There you go. I finally got there. What is in your past card is the Two of Pentacles, the Juggler card, Pisces. So in the recent past, you've had multiple priorities and demands that you've had to be juggling, keeping all the balls up in the air. You've been really, really good at it. You've been an ace at time management, at prioritizing what these demands are in your life, what these responsibilities are. And you've been absolutely showing great adaptability and flexibility to work around those things in your life. And this is what's brought you into this Page of Swords energy. You know, so you've had these multiple responsibilities, priorities in your life, keeping all the balls up in the air, juggling away. It's brought you into the Page of Swords, which has said there are new ways of doing things. You know, work smarter, not harder, I think is what is coming to mind. And perhaps, again, that is in a sense of communication, self-expression. Don't work harder, work smarter. Again, creating these structures in your life, Pisces. There is reason to celebrate, though. In your grounding position, we have the Three of Cups. So, and I think it's a celebration of whatever this Two of Pentacles means to you over there. Being really successful at being able to manage your time really well, manage your responsibilities really well. And the Three of Cups speaks about celebrations amongst friends, amongst collaborators, a celebration of creativity as well. And in obviously today's world where, you know, a lot of us are locked down and in isolation, perhaps there's a creative way of celebrating with your friends or your collaborators. It might be via video conferencing or house party or hangouts, whatever the case may be. But there is cause for celebration. You've all been doing a great job, and the success comes through that group environment, through that collaboration. Well, that wasn't what I was expecting at all. So we have the Five of Wands in your crowning position. Now, the Five of Wands speaks about a few little arguments going on. There's a little bit of conflict surrounding you at the moment. There's a little bit of tension, and I feel this is in this group situation. There's a little bit of competition going on. I think what it has to do with, and I don't know if it was Aries or Leo, had a similar kind of vibe going on. They didn't have this card, but I said a similar thing. And it was along the lines of, I think there is some tensions going on at the moment, especially in the circumstances we all find ourselves in, that can create a little bit of tension, a little bit of arguments. You know, we're in isolation. Perhaps you're with your family or your friends. That's going to cause a little bit of tension. We're not used to spending 24 hours a day together. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying this as overly a heavy energy. I don't think this is going to cause any disastrous breakups or anything like that. I just think it's this building of sort of tension in these groups down here that the Three of Cups is celebrating. There's just this tension building, and I don't think it's at anyone. I think we just have to be patient with everybody at the moment, including ourselves, yeah? Because the outcome of this is the Page of Wands. And this is another message card. And the message the Page of Wands brings is one about exploration, of discovery. For Pisces, there's somebody out there, and I say this in a very general sense. The Page of Wands also brings this idea of being a free spirit. And it's sort of going back to this tension card as well. I confessed to a good friend of mine during the weekend where I am in lockdown. I am in self-isolation here. And I suggested to a very good friend of mine recently that I was actually secretly kind of enjoying it. And it was this free spirit. It was, it's given me a chance to explore and discover new things about myself, about passions and interests I might have. I'm just using that as an example, Pisces. But it's bringing in this sense of enthusiasm, of energy about your passions. You're wanting to explore, research, discover new things, and be a little bit of a free spirit. You might sort of go off the grid a little bit this week. But there's a lot of messages coming in for you this week, Pisces. And it has to do with, I just think you wanting to explore and discover new things about yourself and new things about ideas that you may have. And it's a really good time to do so. It is about creating this structure, what the Emperor is asking you to do. Create this structure around you that suits your path and your purpose that you want to work this week, Pisces. As always, I like to take one final message. But if this reading's resonating with you, Pisces, by all means, please give the video a like. Feel free to leave a comment if you would like to. And if you haven't already, please consider clicking that subscribe button below the video, as I do have ongoing weekly readings for everybody. Let's find this final message for you. I thought I had it, but it went, oh, yeah, they're going crazy now. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, Pisces. I've thrown them on the floor. Oh, in a very difficult spot to reach. All right. Sorry, Pisces. Let's get your final, there we are, your final message. And it's the beautiful buffalo spirit. It is the number 10. And the message buffalo spirit brings is, the abundant universe will provide. The abundant universe will provide. And I think it's to do with this idea of, as I said, you're really in this exploration and discovery mode. Being a little bit of a free spirit. You are a free spirit, Pisces, so that's no secret. But it's just having time to explore, which I think is something we don't make time for a lot of in our world. Let's see what Buffalo Spirit has to say to you this week. Buffalo Spirit comes to you now to remind you of the amazing manifesting powers of gratitude and the extraordinary potential available to you when you adopt a mindset of abundance. Buffalo Spirit appears to let you know that you are in a powerful time to manifest your desires, not by force or pushing, but rather by following a natural path that rises up before you, trusting that there is always plenty to go around, whether it be in love, money, inspiration, or support. It's all there for you to claim. When you are grateful, you immediately align yourself with the truth that the world is rich and teeming with resources. There is always more than enough, and you are always enough. At this time, you can expect your intentions and needs to come into form that is right for you. Your heartfelt gratitude is making you a magnet for miracles. Buffalo Spirit's message is to remember that you co-create your reality in partnership with the universe. So offer up your thanks and your prayers even before you see the conditions you desire, not just for yourself, but for others too. Then you will quickly see the results in tangible ways. Gratitude has the magic to grow the good. So offer thanks and praise as you acknowledge all that you have and all that is coming to you. I will leave you with that final message, Pisces. I wish you a fabulous week ahead. I do look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, from me to you, much love and light. Bye-bye.